It began as so many other interstellar conflicts had, a message, cold and unyielding, sent across the vastness of space. The Enigma Empire, an ancient civilization spanning countless galaxies, with fleets that had crushed entire species, saw humanity as no different from the countless others who had come before. To them, Earth was merely another insignificant planet, its people just another primitive race. They viewed humanity as a curious anomaly, reckless, loud, and insignificant in the grand order of the galaxy. Their political squabbles, their petty disputes, and their inability to unite in the face of greater threats were all on full display to anyone watching. The Enigma saw it as proof that humans were unworthy of galactic respect. The Enigma were not a species known for their diplomacy. They believed in domination, in subjugation, and in bending others to their will. The few diplomatic overtures they extended to species who caught their attention were always filled with the unmistakable scent of superiority. So it was no surprise that when humanity reached the edges of Enigma space, the message was clear, swift, and uncompromising. Cease all expansion near our borders, or face the consequences. Humanity's response was straightforward, and in their eyes, it was almost laughable. The human diplomat, a woman by the name of Eleanor Hayes, stood tall before the Enigma representatives, her expression one of quiet resolve. She looked across the dark expanse of the Enigma delegation and delivered one line that would echo across the galaxy for years to come. Engage at your own risk. The Enigma found the response almost amusing. They had intercepted human transmissions, analyzed their political squabbles, and noted their relatively minimal galactic presence. To them, humanity's technological achievements were insignificant compared to their own, primitive, barely advanced beyond the first stages of space exploration. The arrogance that had been the hallmark of their empire flared brightly. They believed that their superior technology, their advanced fleets, and their centuries-old tactics would be more than enough to deal with this upstart species. They couldn't have been more wrong. The first encounter, a wake-up call. The Enigma Empire moved swiftly to crush what they considered a trivial obstacle. Their fleet, formidable and ancient, brimming with weaponry capable of incinerating entire star systems, was dispatched to human-controlled space. Their mission: to demonstrate the futility of humanity's resistance before it even began. The first target was a small human outpost on a barren moon, orbiting a gas giant. It was nothing more than a mining station and a research outpost, a target that seemed almost beneath the Enigma's attention. Yet for them, it was the perfect place to make their point, annihilate this small nuisance, and move on to the next. The Enigma General Varnak, leading the assault, had no intention of engaging in diplomacy or negotiation. His orders were clear: destroy everything in sight. He authorized an immediate strike, sending a volley of blinding rays and surges of energy toward the human outpost. It was meant to be a show of power, a crushing blow to a race that had dared to defy them. The blast struck with lethal precision. At first, it seemed as if the outpost would crumble under the weight of such an assault. But as the smoke cleared, the unexpected happened. Humanity's defenses held. Just long enough. The Serper.ise. Humanity's resilience. The Enigma fleet was prepared for resistance, but they had not anticipated this. As the first line of shields buckled, a second line of human reinforcements appeared. Small, fast ships darting through the void, bristling with technology that caught the Enigma sensors off guard. These ships weren't like anything they had encountered before. They were nimble and deadly, each one a weapon unto itself. The human ships weaved and darted in unpredictable patterns, avoiding the Enigma's fire while returning with volleys that struck harder than anything the Enigma had expected. One of their lead ships, a vessel that had been near invincible in the past, was obliterated in a single strike. Varnak's eyes widened in disbelief as he saw his flagship systems flicker and fail, a second of panic flooding his mind before he regained control. This was not how the battle was supposed to go. In the chaos of the assault, Varnak ordered a complete attack, believing that overwhelming force would crush the humans into submission. But as the battle raged on, something extraordinary began to unfold. The humans were not just resisting, they were fighting with an intelligence, an adaptability, and a strategy that the Enigma hadn't prepared for. For every move Varnak made, humanity adapted. Their counterattacks were swift, precise, and calculated. It became clear that the humans were not fighting a traditional battle. They weren't just defending, they were outthinking the Enigma at every turn. Varnak's confidence began to crack. The Enigma had relied on their superior numbers, their technology, and their reputation. But the humans weren't playing by those rules. Their tactics were complex, constantly shifting, responding with near-perfect timing. The Enigma could no longer anticipate their moves. Humanity's response was not just one of resistance. It was the very embodiment of defiance. A message delivered. The Enigma generals' mind raced. The battle was supposed to be over by now. The humans, it seemed, were not just fighting to survive, they were fighting to win. And as the battle dragged on, with the human defenses showing no signs of faltering, Varnak's frustration began to mount. When it became clear that the Enigma's efforts would not succeed without a greater loss of resources, Varnak reluctantly ordered a retreat. But before they left, humanity's final message was sent. A transmission from Eleanor Hayes echoed across the void. "We do not seek conflict, but we will defend what is ours." The Enigma fleet withdrew, their commanders shaken by what they had just encountered. They had expected a swift victory, but the humans had fought with a fierceness that was unexpected. Something primal, something more than just technology. Back on the Enigma homeworld, their high command analyzed the data with rising concern. How had humanity withstood such an assault? How had their seemingly insignificant defenses held against a fleet that had crushed entire civilizations in the past? Wounded in pride and consumed by anger, the Enigma Empire made preparations to return to humanity's doorstep. This time, they would not only defeat humanity, they would obliterate them completely. They dispatched a far larger fleet, one that dwarfed the previous assault. This fleet was brimming with the most advanced technology the Enigma Empire had at its disposal. The Enigma were determined to show the humans the true cost of defying them. As their fleet neared human-controlled space, the Enigma commanders expected the same response as before: fear, panic, and surrender. What they did not expect was that humanity had not been idle. They had been preparing. Humanity had studied every detail of the previous encounter, analyzed the Enigma's tactics, and learned from the battle. They knew that the Empire would return in greater force. But they were ready. The first wave of the Enigma fleet arrived with a massive bombardment of firepower, their weapons lighting up the stars. Shockwaves rippled across human colonies. The Enigma commanders expected chaos, but what they received instead was silence. And then came the counterattack. This time, humanity didn't just defend, they fought back with everything they had. The Enigma fleet, expecting an easy victory, soon found themselves drawn into a battle of wits and strategy. The human ships, small but quick, darted in and out of the Enigma's fire, striking at the Empire's weak points before disappearing into the void. Humanity had learned from their previous encounter. They had analyzed the Enigma's every move and now employed a strategy that turned the tables completely. Instead of trying to hold every position, the humans retreated strategically, luring the Enigma into sectors where their numbers and size would no longer matter. Once the Enigma were drawn into these traps, humanity closed in. With precision, they struck, isolating the Enigma ships one by one, picking them off in a series of coordinated attacks that left the Enigma scrambling. But humanity's new secret weapon was even more devastating. Advanced stealth battleships, powered by quantum energy, capable of disappearing from sight after each strike. These ships struck with deadly accuracy and vanished before the Enigma could react. Humanity's tactical brilliance became undeniable. The Enigma fleet, once so sure of their superiority, found themselves outmaneuvered and outwitted at every turn. As the battle unfolded, it became clear to the Enigma commanders that their once impenetrable fleet was faltering. Their communication channels were hacked. The human forces, operating with AI-assisted precision, seemed to predict every move before it was made. The Enigma were losing control. The realization began to sink in. The humans were not just fighting to survive. They were fighting to defend their way of life, their homes, and their future. The Enigma, accustomed to overwhelming their foes through sheer force, had underestimated the strength of humanity's resolve. The Empire's morale began to crack. Where once their ships had been disciplined and powerful, now they were disoriented and panicked. For every inch they gained, humanity pushed back tenfold. Conclusion: the end of the Enigma Empire's dominance. By the end of the conflict, the Enigma Empire found itself in disarray. The humans had not just defended their home, they had completely redefined the rules of warfare. The Enigma had underestimated humanity at every turn, and now they were paying the price. As the last of the Enigma fleet withdrew, the Empire's high command could only watch in disbelief as their empire's centuries-long dominance crumbled before the determination of a single species. Humanity had made its stand, and they had won. The message was simple: we will not bow. We will not surrender. This is our home. And with that, humanity had forever changed the balance of power in the galaxy.